Hi, I'm Jennifer Love. I'm a passionate, authentic intuitive who uses divine guidance to help people love themselves and live more fully in their bodies. This is your weekly love connection for the week of September 18th through the 24th. You can choose a card from 1 to 3, or I have assigned a card for your unique situation. Card number 1 is for folks in crisis who need immediate answers and support. Card number 2 is for my singles, and card number 3 is for folks in relationships who just want a little guidance. I just wanted to take a minute and explain why I took a little social media break. I was having a little bit of some health problems, kind of personal health problems, and I didn't really intend to take a social media break for a couple weeks and not do this weekly love reading, but I needed to. So that's kind of where I've been, kind of regrouping and taking care of myself. There's not always, an opportunity to get online and go, hey, here's what I'm doing, but sometimes it's just needed, right? I also wasn't really in the best mental frame of mind. I lost a friend to suicide, and I feel, obviously I'm an empath, I feel really deeply, and to do these kinds of readings and put this energy out there, you have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to be in a positive energy, in a positive space, because if I'm doing a reading for you, you can feel my energy, and I'm interpreting messages for the collective when I'm doing a reading. So if I'm kind of like down in the dumps or not in a good space, you can feel that. So I don't want to be in a bad or a negative mind space or an emotional state when I'm doing a reading for any of my clients, or even for social media or the collective, because spewing that out into the world is just not a good feeling for anybody. So losing a friend wasn't good for me emotionally. Obviously, I'm sure most people can understand that. So I needed to take some time and process that emotionally for myself, to get into a better headspace to be able to do these kinds of readings again. It does take energy from me to put these kinds of readings out on social media. So think about that when you are watching people on social media, digesting things on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. People put their time and energy and effort out there, and appreciate your comments, your support, your business when you consume their content. And if you are thinking about suicide, or you are depressed, just know that there are people in your life that do care about you. They support you. I did see a billboard the other day that said suicideispreventable.org. And I know that suicide is preventable, but there are people who just sometimes feel like there is really no other option for them, and that's just the case. And it's really heartbreaking for other people in their lives that really feel like they could have helped and could have done something and prevented that, but didn't or couldn't. So if you do need support, please reach out to your family and friends. This week we are using the Moonology Messages Oracle cards from Yasmin Boland. It's a new deck that just came out. So card number 1 is for my folks that are in crisis, that need immediate answers and support. This card is the Yin Moon, and it says accept help. So the yin energy is the energy of the feminine. It's the energy of the moon. The feminine is the energy of receiving. So you need to realize that you might need help from somebody. And, you know, a lot of us, it's really hard to admit that we might need help from somebody, or it's hard for us to ask for help. It could be like a trauma response from childhood growing up. Maybe there wasn't anybody to ask for help or assistance, or your parents were disappointing parental figures. They weren't there for you. So you really had nobody to ask for help. But you're an adult now, and hopefully you have more tools at your disposal to ask people to help you in terms of, this is specifically towards your love life. And in my mind, you know, there are a lot of kind of spiritual tools, right, that you can get help with. There's courses, there's books, you know, you could go get an intuitive reading that is helpful in terms of your love life. thejenniferlove.com, you can always book a reading with me. That is extremely helpful in terms of getting guidance. So yeah, this week you need to accept help where it's offered and given, and go seek it out. Card number 2 is for my singles, and this card is the Moon's Wisdom, and it says take the lead. This is about feeling confident and feeling like you have something to offer. This is also around worthiness and perhaps not feeling like you have something to offer or something to give somebody, or like, what are the qualities that I have that somebody else would find desirable or want. It also reminds me, when I first like saw the card and like read the description in the book, what first came to mind was like Bridget Jones, and how she would call the people that were in relationships smug marrieds. You know, people who were like in relationships who are giving advice to single people, and they were like so condescending and just did not understand or remember what it's like to be single, and put you down almost like, why are you still single, and that kind of stuff. Because it kind of makes you feel like there's something wrong with you for not being in a relationship, when it's usually by choice because you're like, I'm waiting for the right person, thank you very much. So don't let people make you feel less than in any way, shape, or form. This is about taking the lead. You are in charge of your life. You are in charge of your singledom or relationship status. It's also about that, you know, feeling of like, you know, you're at the family party, you're at Thanksgiving or whatever, and, you know, grandma is asking, why are you still single? You know, by choice, bitch. You know, you're not gonna say that to your grandma, but you know what I mean? It's not a mark of embarrassment. It's not a shameful thing to be single. It's just, you know, it's your choice, right? You're definitely choosing to be not partnered rather than in a terrible relationship, the way that so many people are very unhappy in a bad relationship, rather than, you know, being happy with them, fulfilled with their lives, and loving themselves single. So yeah, take the lead and live your own life, and don't listen to anybody else, and have good boundaries. Card number 3 is for my folks in relationships, and this is howl at the moon and process your feelings. So if you have been kind of stuffing your feelings down and holding back and not telling your partner how you feel because you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to upset the apple cart, you don't want to get in a fight, this is your sign that you need to actually tell your partner how you feel. Don't worry about, this is going to spark a argument. You don't have to start an argument, but you do have to communicate and tell them how you actually feel, rather than burying your emotions down deep, because then you're just going to have layer after layer of resentment, or it's going to be push all your feelings down, they're eventually gonna explode out, and then you're gonna have a big fight, right? So maybe not howling at the moon, screaming at your partner, but more processing your feelings and just letting your partner know how you feel in a healthy way, maybe in a calm way, in a rational way. If there is a problem in your relationship that you've been meaning to talk about, this is your sign this week that you really need to tell them how you feel, because it's eating at you and you need to talk about it.